Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC. I'm gloved up and I'm ready. You know what that means. It's time to finish the September builds. It's time to get them done. All right, guys, I have these three. We also have the gargoyle harpoon, but the gargoyle harpoon is getting its sheath done. So I've already got that one in the press, and I have these three that, if you were following along on the last video, we acid etched the spine and around the handle of these, and I got them cleaned up and pretty much ready for these to be oiled up and protected. This is the jute micarta, which I need to do the linseed oil on. And then this is the Brazilian apatong, and that one I need to, let's see, what do I need to do? I was gonna do a little layer of Dutch oil on this wood to make it come out, check that wood grain and kind of stain it a little bit. And then we're gonna linseed oil this one as well before we're ready to do the sheath on this one. So these two, I have to do that. And the Cardinal XL is ready for its sheath now. We got the spine and everything nice and acid etched and looking good. So now this one is ready for its sheath, which is going to be the Purple Haze Graveyard camo. So that's gonna be pretty stinking cool. So I need to cut out that, tape up this blade, and I can go press this sheath. But the first thing I want to do is oil these up. So let's prepare for that. So I'm not doing Dutch oil, I'm doing Danish. Danish oil. And this is just a natural Danish oil, but it does darken the grain just a little bit, just enough to make it look pretty cool. So I have this, and we're gonna put this on the bloom, and I've already cleaned it up, but I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more. What the heck happened there? So I'm gonna get a little acetone on the rag, and we're just going to clean the handle really well. Make sure there's no residue on here or oils, so it'll let that the Danish oil really soak in and make it look nice. So let's do that. So far I am liking how this wood came out. I had a lot of questions on it in the beginning, but I think we're looking pretty good right now, and I'm liking the way that this is turning out. So I'm just trying to clean in this crease a little bit. Let me get a Q-tip, and I'll do that. Let me wipe this down with a Q-tip. Hit that with a little bink. Oh, I'm running out of acetone. Bink. That's why this mat looks the way that it does. These mats do not like acetone, just so you guys know. So I'm just trying to clean up some of this residue off of here before I do the oil, because once I do the oil, then it's all off. All right, so now we can do this. I'm gonna need another Q-tip so I can put the Danish oil on, and we're just gonna wipe on and wipe it off. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple hours just to let it soak in, and then we'll linseed oil. So let me get that. Whoa, that was higher than I thought. Oops. All right, so we're gonna put this here, and we're just gonna let this kind of do its thing so you guys can see already. Yeah, that's gonna look pretty cool. Yeah, bringing out some of the interesting grains on this and making it look pretty cool. Awesome. All right, this is gonna work out really well. Look at that. Made it nice and rich looking now, so that's gonna be cool. Let's do this side. I'll wipe it off the blade here once it's all said and done, because once it's all said and done, I'm gonna wipe it off, dry it, and then we're gonna be putting the linseed oil as well, which is going to then just be another layer of protection. So this needs to soak into this and dry, but what do you guys think of that? Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. I like what we're doing. I like the way that that is turning out. So I'm going to put that over here, and we'll just let this one go, and then I need to do the linseed oil on the other one. I don't want to lay this flat. Well, I'm gonna go hang this up, and then I'll be right back, and we will do. All right, so now we have the linseed oil on the Admiral Blue micarta. We have done several knives in this material here in the last couple months, and it always looks really good once I do this. So let's see what it does. There you go, guys. That makes that material really, really pop. I like using the linseed oil on the micarta and natural products. It seeps in. It does lend some protection, as well as just brings out the nice textures and everything in the materials. Yes, I know micarta is not a necessarily natural material, but it does have layer of fabric woven into the resins or acrylics, however it's made, and it just makes it look awesome when you can get this stuff on it. I just had a really good look with this. It really helps protect it over time. And then just a little bit of knife wax or wicked wax or whatever wax you want to use, usually just to maintain that look. So what do you guys think of that? Yeah, it's gonna look pretty cool. The bud is looking good. So I'm just gonna lay that there. We're gonna let that one soak, and then the other one's soaking. So now I need to take my gloves off at this point, and we need to start getting the Cardinal XL prepped for a sheath. Let's go. All right, guys, so we got this one taped up and ready to go. So I think that's going to be pretty stinking cool sheath. We're going to do the purple, and that's plenty enough material to do a sheath. So let's go press this one, and I need to go check on the gargoyle. All right, guys, the gargoyle turned out pretty stinking good. The tip is there. I know it's hard to kind of see the blade or the shape of the blade, which is not going to be fun to shape that, but yeah, that came out pretty stinking cool, and that's going to look pretty awesome with that person picked out. Everything's pretty even, and it looks like it's going to work out well. So one down, got 3 more to go. All right, guys, I got the jute micarta bud looking good. Got it all taped up, ready for its sheath. So we got to press that one, and I got that one cleaned up. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, that wood cleaned up nice. I put a little linseed oil on it as well. So now that grain really is popping in there now, and got some interesting things going on the spine and in the handle. It's got some nice reds coming in right in here. It might be hard to pick up on the camera, but yeah, turned out pretty stinking cool. So that handle material ended up working out very well. And it's getting the gray kydex. I got the gargoyle pressed and the cardinal pressed, so guess what? I'm going to be, well, I have to tape up the bloom, but these two are going to get pressed, and then we're going to start working on sheaths and getting these all cut and shaped and ready for the next step, which is beads and lanyards and sharpening. So it looks like on this video we're going to be able to finish these up. How cool is that? I am going to finish September as quickly as possible. I know it's not going to be September by the time this video comes out, but we are getting very, very close, and trying to get these done so that I can turn my attention to these. Well, here we go. We got all the sheaths done. They all look good. Gargoyle harpoon. That looks all kind of fancy. I ended up doing the brass eyelets just because it kind of fit. I could have gone black too, but it looks awesome with this sheath. Fits in nicely. Cardinal XL looks awesome. Fits well. Fits in nice, and the butt looks good, and the balloon harpoon looks good. We have an issue. I have a pretty bad issue. I was fitting up the sheath, and the first time, all I did was take the balloon and I popped it in. It's still a little loose because I'm dealing with something right now, because when I popped it into the sheath, we had an issue. Now, the retention point for the sheaths are the handles. So back in here, and this area back here is the retention point for my Kydex. Here's my issue. As soon as I popped it in for the first time, the handle material cracked. I don't know what happened. I don't know why. I don't know if it was a weak spot in that wood. But it just popped off. And I'm kind of annoyed. I did find the little piece of wood, and I could glue it back in. And I gotta check with the owner of this, or the future owner, or the person I'm building this for, and see if they're okay with that. Because I don't really know what else to do besides ripping all of these scales off and starting all over again. Which I don't want to do, but I will, because I want to make sure it's done properly. But that little piece of wood popped out of that. And it does fit in. It fits in. Like, let me put it in. Let's see, it goes this way. Focus. So it does pop in there, and I can glue it all back nicey nice, and then restain everything, and you would never even know. But I don't know, guys. I really don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take some pictures, send it to that person, and see what they want to do. But the sheath is somewhat done. I do need to tweak it a little bit, but I need to make sure that this is taken care of before I move on to the next step. So this one is on hold until we work out what we're going to do with this. I would hate to remove all this, but I also realized I was supposed to do black liners for this one, which is not a terrible big deal because I think it looks good like this. But if I have to cut more of that wood off and start from scratch, then I guess I have to do what I have to do. But I need to make sure it's done right. But these three, I have to do beads. That's the big thing. So I have material, I have to cut it all that up and drill holes and start making beads for these guys. So I'm gonna get some pictures of this, send it to the owner, future owner, hopefully, and see what he thinks. And then, but in the meantime, I guess I have to move forward with the other ones. Kind of a bummer. Update. All right, so I'm in the middle of doing about 5 things. All right, so just checking in with you guys. The Gargoyle, the Cardinal XL, and the Bud are still looking great. The sheaths are cleaned up. I think, did I clean them all up? Yeah, okay, so I got those cleaned up. I need to get some of the pencil marks off of this carbon fiber, which is kind of a pain in the butt actually to do. And okay, yeah, the Cardinal XL is looking good as well. All right, so I'm sure you guys are wondering, what did we do here? Well, he agreed that I can just glue it all back together, and I readjusted the sheath a little bit so that there's not so much of a compression point or retention point on that side. So I kind of loosened that side up a little bit, And so I glued it in. You don't even know, you can't even see it, and it looks awesome. So here we go. It's in and it's out, and it's holding, and I used some really strong glue, and I'm hoping there's no issues. The only other thing I could do is to either reprofile the handle up in that area, basically bringing this up here more and cutting that area out, which I would have to redo the sheath anyway, and then redo the etching and resand everything, and there's just a lot of work. Or I redo the scales completely, which I don't want to do either, but I will do it to make it right, and I think we are looking good. I just, for the record, don't send me materials for handles anymore. I'd rather use materials that I know and that I know are gonna work and are gonna be great for what I want. So I'm not gonna accept anybody sending me handle materials. I'd rather them pick them and I will purchase it and we can go from there. But I live and learn, but you know, they send me a giant chunk of wood. I did my best and I think it's looking good. So anyway, there we go. I've also cut out all the material for the beads, so I gotta glue up the beads, and I guess I could start sharpening these blades. I do need to clean them up just a little bit, like I said, get some of this pencil mark off of here, but the sharpening is the next step. So I'm gonna start sharpening, or actually I'm gonna glue these up and then we can start sharpening. Oh man, I can't wait to finish these. All right, I got the beads all set up here. I know that if you have followed this channel for a while, you know I struggle with the beads. So I usually use epoxy, and that's the strongest thing I know. But I recently purchased this kit from Maker Material Supply, and this is like an extra thick 10 to 15 second glue. Plus I have the accelerator that comes in that kit as well. So this, I think, is just as thick as the epoxy, and it should work just as well, 10 times faster. Plus I can get this just where I want it, so I don't like have spillover, and that's where things kind of get stuck and everything else. So I'm hoping, I'm gonna give that a little bit extra time. Oh no. I'm gonna give this a little bit extra time, and I'm gonna see how this works. Fingers crossed this works. I have my 1, 2, 3 block just for weight, and I'm gonna lean it over here so that it will dry. So we'll see what it looks like. All right guys, moment of truth, I guess. Take that off. Well, that came off. And let's see how we did. Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So, same deal. I'm gonna have to wrench all these off, and that's when some of the glue starts to snap on these, etc. But we'll see how I can do it. Sometimes if I just break it loose, then it'll work. Yeah. If I can just break them loose off of the bolt, then they just kind of come off. But yeah, this is my struggle, and it looks like I'm struggle busting again. So I'm gonna work on getting these off now. All right, that wasn't actually as terrible as I thought it would be, so that turned out pretty cool. So we have the jute micarta with the black, and then we have the carbon fiber with the black, so that's going to be pretty cool. This is that purple and black carbon fiber, and then this stuff, and that should look pretty cool. And I did a brass washer as the liner, so I just gotta start removing material and making beads. All right guys, we did it. I am 100% done. I got the cards filled out. I got to do this one. This is the last one. Gargoyle harpoon. And this is AEB-L. Overall, we are at 7 inches overall. Blade is 3 1/4. 3 1/4. The handle is curly noble fear golden. My handwriting sucks, by the way. Yellow. And it has a custom bead. Custom bead. And I almost made the deadline, guys. I was so close. So close to the deadline. Today is 10/1/25. I was so close. So stinking close. This was the last one. Everything else I finished yesterday on the 30th, but this one I just got buttoned up today with the lanyard, the bead, hand satin finish turned out really nice. The handle, yeah, like I'm looking, this is like caramel butterscotch all day, which is my favorite, by the way. I love how you can see the pins through there and all the layering of the copper, or no, the brass that's in there. Yeah, came out really stinking cool. And the bead is a nice touch with my little brass touch on there. I think this thing came out awesome, and it has a really funky sheath too. What an awesome package that one is. We have the Cardinal XL. Looks good. I like that sheath. Came out really nice. The purple camo fat carbon looks really awesome. Loving that one, how it came out. The really cool layers on that one. Acid etch finish. All the fun jimping on the spine. He wanted really forward jimping way up here, so we hooked him up with that. And yeah, really cool. And we did a bead. The same material as the handle. The beads, I know you guys really like the beads. We have the Cardinal, or the bud, with the carbon fiber Kydex. I need to move this out of the way. Spread everything out a little bit. We don't need the pen. I'll put that over there. We got the bud with the nice Admiral Blue Jute micarta, which everybody loves. We got it looking pretty stinking good. All etched up and tumbled. Nice thick beefy handle. It really fills the hand. We got a nice fun bead on that one. And yeah, fun little EDC or outdoor knife, however you decide to use it. Hopefully he uses it well. And then finally, the Bloom harpoon. We had some issues, but we worked through them. We have the gray Kydex, and that Brazilian Apatong turned out pretty stinking good. I had some, I was a little nervous about it, but it ended up working out, and it looks pretty good. I really like down in here how it got some reds in it and got some really fun colors in it when you really look at it. And that wood was very light, so this is a very lightweight blade. Very balanced, and the Bloom harpoon is cool, and he has special plans for the lanyard and bead and stuff, so he asked me not to add one, so I didn't. And I think this person who's getting this is coming to pick this one up in person, so that's kind of cool. So these are done. We are done with September. Holy cow, I can't believe I did it, and I almost did it within my own deadline. I know nobody put a deadline on me but me, but we almost did it, and they all look really cool. I need to go get some photos of all of these, some cool videos, and you guys will be seeing these coming out on here on YouTube for shorts. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll be sharing blah blah the pictures of these on there as well. And I need to get pictures to the owners of these too. So let me get some photos, and I hope you guys enjoy, because I'll put those at the end of this video. So thank you guys so much. You're awesome. I hope you appreciated the following of these being builds. If you haven't, you got to go back and watch from the beginning and watch them all being done. Maybe just do that for the heck of it. I need the views. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Please remember, subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. That choice is always yours.